And it was her advice that wrecked it in the first place.
Classic Rosamond. She's never more righteous than when she's in the wrong.
The beloved Downton Abbey franchise has officially announced a third movie, delighting fans who have followed the Crawley family through 6 seasons of television and 2 feature films. With Downton Abbey: A New Era garnering high praise from critics and audiences alike in 2022, the anticipation for Downton Abbey 3 has been building. Set to premiere on September 12, 2025, the film is expected to close out the trilogy and possibly the entire Downton Abbey saga. When Downton Abbey first premiered as a TV series in 2010, no one could have predicted the cultural phenomenon it would become. Created by Julian Fellowes, the show followed the lives of the aristocratic Crawley family and their servants during the early 20th century. Set against the backdrop of real historical events like World War I and the sinking of the Titanic, Downton Abbey deftly blended fictional melodrama with authentic historical moments. The series, which aired for 6 seasons, attracted a massive global audience, and by the time it ended in 2015, there were already whispers of potential films. It didn't take long for those rumors to materialize. In 2019, the Downton Abbey movie premiered, reuniting much of the original cast and grossing over $194 million worldwide. With that kind of success, a sequel was practically inevitable. Downton Abbey: A New Era was released in 2022, picking up where the first film left off. It expanded on the Crawley's world, introducing new locations and storylines while keeping the heart of the show alive. Audiences loved it, but interestingly, despite being considered an improvement over the first film by many critics, it earned less at the box office, grossing around $92 million worldwide, a significant drop from the 2019 movie. As the new era concluded with the family stepping into the 1930s, many were curious whether this marked the end of the franchise. Luckily for fans, the filmmakers left the door wide open for more. Now with Downton Abbey 3 officially on the way, there's plenty of speculation about what the final chapter will bring. While details about the plot remain tightly under wraps, there's plenty of room for exciting storylines in Downton Abbey 3. Set against the backdrop of the 1930s, a time of significant change in British society, the film is poised to explore the Crawleys adapting to the turbulent economic period and possibly even the lead-up to World War II. The original series opened during the Edwardian era and followed the Crawley family through the aftermath of World War I. It seems only fitting that the trilogy would end in the era of another monumental war, bringing the early 20th century full circle. The Crawley family is already well positioned to face the challenges of the modern world, having survived the societal changes brought on by the First War, but the 1930s will likely bring its own share of upheavals. In addition to historical events, personal dynamics within the Crawley household are bound to evolve. The last film saw Tom Branson marry Lucy Smith, bringing in a new generation of Crawleys as they welcomed their first child. Meanwhile, Thomas Barrow left his post as Downton's butler, setting up a potential storyline involving his successor, perhaps with Mr. Carson training the next generation. Given that the franchise has always struck a careful balance between upstairs aristocrats and downstairs staff, it's safe to assume that Downton Abbey 3 will continue to explore the complex relationships between these two groups. The struggles and triumphs of the servants at Downton are just as vital to the narrative as the Crawley's dilemmas, and the third movie will likely see some of these characters take center stage. The Downton Abbey series has never shied away from emotional farewells. In A New Era, the franchise said goodbye to one of its most iconic characters, the Dowager Countess Lady Violet Crawley, played by the legendary Maggie Smith. Smith's departure from the series was a bittersweet moment for fans, as she had been one of the show's most beloved characters with her sharp wit and memorable one-liners. However, with her storyline wrapped up, it's unlikely we'll see her return for the third film. That said, the Downton Abbey cast remains vast, and the majority of the core group is set to return for the trilogy capper. Hugh Bonneville, Michelle Dockery, and Laura Carmichael are all confirmed, as are Elizabeth McGovern, Jim Carter, and Joanne Froggatt. One major absence in A New Era was Matthew Goode, who plays Henry Talbot, Lady Mary's husband. Due to scheduling conflicts, Goode was unable to reprise his role in the last film, but there's hope that he could return for Downton Abbey 3. Fans are also clamoring for the return of Lily James as Lady Rose. While her character moved to America during the TV series, there's potential for her to make a comeback in the third film, especially as the Crawley's world expands beyond England's borders. Excitingly, Paul Giamatti, who played Harold Levinson, Cora's brother in the series, is confirmed to return in Downton Abbey 3. Giamatti's free-spirited character adds an interesting dynamic to the more traditional Crawley family, and it will be intriguing to see how his presence influences the events of the third film. In addition to the returning cast, Downton Abbey 3 will also feature some fresh faces. Newcomers Jolie Richardson, Alessandro Nivola, Simon Russell Beale, and Artie Fruscian have been announced, though their roles are still a mystery. Their addition to the ensemble could introduce new conflicts, romances, or opportunities for the Crawleys, as Downton Abbey has always excelled at weaving new characters into the established narrative. Simon Curtis, who directed A New Era, is set to return for Downton Abbey 3. Curtis received high praise for his handling of the second film, which successfully juggled over 30 characters and multiple storylines while also expanding the scope of the series. His return gives fans confidence that the third film will maintain the same level of quality, emotional depth, and grandeur that the series is known for. Filming is already underway, with a behind-the-scenes video posted on the official Downton Abbey Twitter account confirming that the cast and crew are hard at work on the production. The video offered a glimpse of a table read, with actors' name cards showing familiar faces like Hugh Bonneville and Michelle Dockery. The excitement from the cast is palpable, with Dockery announcing, "We're in production on the third Downton Abbey movie." While you're eagerly awaiting Downton Abbey 3, there are plenty of series to tide you over, offering similarly rich stories, lavish costumes, and historical settings. Here are a few gems that Downton fans are sure to enjoy while counting down to the new Crawley saga. The Bonfire of Destiny. If you love historical drama with a tragic twist, The Bonfire of Destiny might be right up your alley. This French-language series is based on the true story of the devastating 1897 fire at the Charity Bazaar in Paris, and over 125 lives. Set during the Belle Epoque, the show immerses you in a world of high society where the divide between the wealthy aristocrats and those who serve them is as dramatic as the era's enormous hats and opulent gowns. Which of these will you be diving into next? Or do you have another favorite period drama to recommend? Let us know in the comments.